I think my microphone was off. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. I don't know how my microphone got turned off. There has been so much news this last 24 hours or so. A lot of fight announcements. A fight announcement that was just announced 48 hours ago, and then now it's canceled. There's talk about a replacement opponent that I don't think makes a whole lot of sense. Um, Alexander Volkanovski versus Holloway was literally announced 48 hours ago, and then now it's off. Holloway has an injury. I was thinking about making a video on it, but I was busy all earlier, and then I figured, you know what? I like to do these live streams on Fridays sometimes, try out different times. So I figured I'd talk about it tonight on a live stream. Real quick, let me pull something up. There's talk about apparently Volkanovski wants uh wants the Volkanovski wants the Korean Zombie to step in. Uh and that's one of those things I don't think makes a lot of sense. We're going to talk about that. Derrick Lewis versus Tai Tuavasa was announced. Rafael dos Anjos versus Rafael Fiziev was announced as well. Uh, and whatever you guys, whatever questions you guys have, do me a favor if you haven't done it yet, make sure to like the stream. I greatly appreciate it. Guys, we are so close to 2,000 subscribers, 1,924 subs. So we are 76 subs away. 76 subs away from 2,000. Also, shout out to James Lynch. If you guys don't subscribe to James Lynch on YouTube, go subscribe to his channel. He did a video today also about Eagle FC. And he mentioned me in the video specifically, and I appreciate that very much. If you guys haven't seen that video yet, go check it out. I posted it on my Twitter, but I'm sure you guys can find his channel, just James Lynch on YouTube. And I think it's the last video he posted. I'm not sure if he posted anything since then, but it's about Eagle FC and Khabib's terrible matchmaking, disgusting matchmaking. And he went through some of my comments and kind of rebutted them on his video, which I thought was awesome because it's always easier to respond within the video or within a video rather than trying to type out a comment. And I got a lot of hate on that video. So shout out to James Lynch for shouting me out in his video. And also, guys, if you agree with me and you agree with that video, go to his channel and leave some positive comments on that because there's so much negative hate when you say anything about Khabib or Eagle FC. I think it's nice to see some guys who agree. So, Sean Johnson, I knew you were going live today. Sean, did you ever get that link to join our Discord, man? I'm trying to like, invite a couple people who I know, have been around for the channel for a while, who would, make the Discord better, and you were one of them that I thought of. So if you haven't yet, make sure you just do it within 7 days because the link expires after 7 days. So if you haven't done that yet, I commented back with you with the link. How do you think Zombie matches up with Volk? Lamau, I like his chances. So let's talk about that first. So, sorry guys, I'm a little bit tired. So I was trying to think for a second. Max Holloway versus Alexander Volkanovski trilogy was announced for UFC 272, I think it was. 272, yes. UFC 272. 48 hours later, Max Holloway's pulling out with an injury. I wonder if the UFC announced it prematurely was the first thing I thought of. Second thing, I don't think it makes a lot of sense for the Korean Zombie to get the shot. He's on a one-fight winning streak against Dan Ige. Just recently lost to Brian Ortega not that long ago. And, I love the Korean Zombie, and I dreamt about seeing him matched up with Volkanovski before he fought Brian Ortega. But, I think he has great skills, and I'm a big fan. But I think Volkanovski beats him. What I would like to see, I think the UFC should wait a week, see what happens with Giga Chikadze and Calvin Kattar. If Giga Chikadze goes out there and gets a dominant win next week, I want to see Giga Chikadze get the next title shot. I think that's what should happen. If he loses and Volkanovski really wants to stand on that March card, Calvin Kattar does not deserve a shot. Next up would, by default, be the Korean Zombie, So, but to answer your question, I think Volkanovski wins. I don't think that you can count the Korean Zombie out completely. I think he has, somewhat of a shot to win. He has great striking. Great ground game. I just think he's overall very well rounded. So I think he could defeat Volkanovski. But after seeing that Brian Ortega fight, where I mean not Volk, where Ortega just really just outstruck him and outclassed him. And I know Korean Zombie got hurt early in that fight, so maybe he wasn't all there. It's just hard for me to pick him against Volkanovski. Volkanovski's super well rounded. He's got power in all his hands. He's got a super high fight IQ. He's just great everywhere. And I just don't think Korean Zombie can go out there and he can't compete with him, but I just don't think he can do it. I want to see Giga Chikadze, if he beats Calvin Kattar, get the next title shot. And I think that's what should happen. Honestly, if he goes out there, he would be on a decent streak, a win over Edson Barboza, and then a win over Calvin Kattar back to back. I think that would be enough to earn himself a shot. It wouldn't be totally outraged. I mean, Korean Zombie's on a 1-fight win streak right now. So, hold on a sec, guys. Woo. So, I think that makes the most sense. I don't know why the UFC wouldn't just wait a week. The Giga Chikadze fight is only next week anyway. So why not? Why not just wait it out? Okay. Who do you got in Lewis or Tai? I think that's going to be a crazy fight. I think a lot of people are super excited for that one. For me, I used to be a big believer in Derrick Lewis. I just believe, the power was game-changing. And then I kind of fell off the train a bit. But honestly, I'll go Derrick Lewis. Tai Tuivasa leaves himself open. Derrick Lewis has nasty KO power. Derrick Lewis has been KO'd a couple times himself. But so in that fight, it's all about who lands first. I think Derrick Lewis is faster, and I think he has sneakier striking. So I'll go Derrick Lewis. In my opinion, UFC doesn't really like Cejudo. I don't think they do because the fans don't care about Cejudo. Cejudo's always begging for dumbass matchups against Volkanovski. I mean, if anybody wants to see him against Volkanovski, I don't know what you're smoking. The dude abandoned bantamweight did he even defend the belt? He defended the belt once against a short notice Dominic Cruz. And this guy thinks he has a legacy to potentially fight for the featherweight belt against one of the greatest featherweights of all time. I don't think so. He's not a big draw. I think the Korean Zombie versus Volkanovski would sell more. I think Giga Chikadze versus Volkanovski would sell more. I don't think people truly care about Henry Cejudo. He beat Marlon Moraes. How well has that win aged? I know that's a little bit unfair, but how well? He beat Demetrius, but it was by a controversial decision that people seem to forget. He barely won. A lot of people thought he lost that fight. And then, his best win is TJ Dillashaw coming down to flyweight. Defending the belt against TJ. Other than that, the Dominic Cruz win doesn't mean shit because Dominic Cruz came in on short notice after like a 2-year layoff. So for me, I think the UFC doesn't care. I think Cejudo is trying to bully the UFC for more money, and he thinks he's a bigger draw than he is, and the UFC does not care. I want Triple C to step in. It's the biggest fight. I don't think it is. I think I would be more excited for the Korean Zombie or Giga Chikadze personally. Guys, if you haven't already, do me a favor and make sure to like the stream. I need you guys to do that. It helps push it out to more people. And hopefully we get a bunch of people in here tonight, even though it's, a little bit later on a Friday. Zombies judo is great. Really good wrestling. Amazing BJJ. Volk won't want to go to the ground too long. Tremendous power and durability. And he's fresh, no injuries, and has time to prepare 2 months. Yeah, I mean, most of that is true, but I think Volkanovski will not care to go to the ground. I don't think he'll care. Volkanovski went to the ground with Brian Ortega, and was able to survive 2 submission attempts. I don't think Korean Zombie is going to submit Volkanovski. So I think Volkanovski is just too well-rounded. I think Volkanovski can outbox him. I think Volkanovski can grapple him if he needs to. I think Volkanovski has the better stamina. I think Volkanovski is stronger. I think he has more power in his hands and kicks. I think Volkanovski is better everywhere, honestly. It's a win-win for Cejudo and doesn't do much for Volk. If Cejudo pulls it off, he'd be an instant legend for real. I know you can't see Cejudo beating Volk. No way. Will Michelle Pereira get a new fight? Hopefully. I think they will. I think they'll find him somebody. What's up, Keep Out? Besides Max, I don't see anyone beating Volk at 145 besides maybe Giga. Yeah, I think Giga would be the most interesting matchup if Giga can defeat Calvin Kattar. That's what I want to see. Maybe I'm a bit biased because the Korean Zombie got me into MMA and he's such a legend. Yeah, he's such a legend. I love the Korean Zombie. I actually want to buy one of his t-shirts. He has a really cool t-shirt. What's crazy is the Korean Zombie is one of the few fighters that most people know him more by his nickname than his actual name. I mean, some people don't even know his real name. Derrick Lewis or Stipe, since Derrick Lewis is asking for it. I'd probably take Stipe, but you can never count Derrick Lewis out. But Derrick Lewis is fighting Tai Tuivasa. It's already announced. And Cejudo ducked a lot of his toughest competition. Yan, Aldo, Sandhagen, and even TJ at 35 would have been tough. Yeah. Well, he didn't duck TJ. TJ was tested positive and was out for 2 years. But he retired at right in the point when the division started to get the best. Also, he did not duck Aldo. He signed to fight Aldo, and Aldo pulled out with it. No, it was because of the pandemic hit. So Aldo couldn't make it to the United States, and then they gave it to Dominic Cruz at UFC 249 when Ferguson fought Gaichi on short notice. Yo, what's up, Joey Sebastian? What's up, my friend? How do you feel about Gustafsson saying he wants to come back early 2022, and how would he do in the current climate of the light heavyweight division? I think Gustafsson could have a lot of success in the current climate. You know, I like his chances against Glover Teixeira. We've seen him uppercut him to death before. I like his chances versus a lot of the guys in the division. I like his chances against, I'm trying to think, but there is a lot of steep competition. So hold on, let me pull up the rankings real quick and tell you who I would favor Alexander Gustafsson against. Real quick, because it's slipping my mind. Who else is in? Yuri. The Yuri fight, I think, is a very winnable fight for Gustafsson, depending on, where he's at. Let me take a look. So I think Gustafsson beats Glover. I think he beats Yan. I think he can beat Yuri. I think he loses the Rockage, but he can win that fight. He beats Anthony Smith. He beats Thiago Santos. He loses to Magomed Ankalaev. And he beats Dominic Reyes. So I think his future is very bright. Depending on what version of Gustafsson comes back, I think that we could see him make a rise to the division. I mean, if I'm Gustafsson, I try to catch a short notice replacement. For a light heavyweight title fight against Glover. Imagine I'd be ready if Yuri pulls out of that fight. UFC, put me in. Cejudo beat DJ even though the fight was competitive. Also, Morales hasn't been the same since the loss. Yeah, I agree. The Morales fight was a good win, but at the same time, the guy didn't fight the toughest the division had to offer. TKZ got outstruck by Ortega. Volk destroys him. I think Volk beats him, but also you have to remember with the Korean Zombie Ortega fight, the Korean Zombie was hurt badly early, and I feel like he never recovered. But I think Volk wins pretty handily against the Korean Zombie, and I would much prefer the Giga fight, like I've stated multiple times, but just in case you weren't here, French fries. Alexander Gustafsson, one of the best fighters to never win a title. Agreed, right up there with Yoel Romero. I Yoel Romero is one of the best middleweights to never win a title. Is Santos next for the GOAT, the real GOAT? Why do you keep calling her the GOAT, the real GOAT? People seem high on her, and she's the only top 5 left. Yes, she is next, and Shevchenko will defeat her. I was stunned on the Derrick Lewis versus Tai fight. Derrick by KO. Chris Dawkins was a more dangerous fight, and look how it played out. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I love that Derrick Lewis Tai Tuavasa fight. That's excellent matchmaking by the UFC. I mean, could you put two of the heaviest power punchers within the division? It's just absolutely insane. Holloway out, then it should be Yair fighting for the belt next, in my opinion. I think it should be Giga if he beats Cater next Saturday, like I've stated about 75 times already on the stream. So if you've been here the whole time, I apologize for anyone who's heard me said that. But I wouldn't mind Yair. For me, if I'm the UFC, I wait for Giga. If Giga beats Calvin Cater, I give Giga the next title shot against Volk. If he beats Cater, especially impressively. Then I go the Korean Zombie. Then I go Yair. And then I would go Cejudo. That's my last bet. Who do you guys think wins? Let me put up a poll. Who wins? Tuivasa or Lewis? I hope I spelled that right. I don't remember if I did or not. Guys, go vote in the poll. But yes, Holloway is out. I see your question mark there, Niles. One thing I'm worried about Tai Tuivasa's leg kicks. If Tuivasa lands leg kick, it could be trouble. I think either guy can get KO'd in that fight, but I favor Lewis. I just think Lewis is too powerful, too fast, and I think Tuivasa does get clipped up quite a bit. And I think Lewis just has a weird set of timing, and guys know what he's going to do, and somehow he's able to still achieve it. He's able to go in there, wait, kind of lull his opponent to sleep, wait, then he explodes, and he just finds a way to land. I mean, I said it in the Dawkins prediction video. Dawkins is very good everywhere, and I feel like it's not a crazy prediction to predict Dawkins to win. But Lewis will find your chin. On 99% of fighters, he will find their chin, and he found it on Chris Dawkins and put him to sleep. Yeah, I can't wait for Tuivasa versus Lewis. I'm taking Tuivasa. I'm taking Lewis, and it looks like the majority is taking Lewis. Yair versus Giga title contender fight. Yair doesn't deserve a shot. Yeah, wouldn't say necessarily he deserves a shot, but I'm saying as far as what I would do if I was the UFC, I mean, there's not a lot of guys. You look at the rankings right now. Let's go through the rankings. Max is out. Brian Ortega's just lost to him. Yair's next. Yair just had an amazing fight with Max Holloway. I mean, he's shown that he's a legit contender at 145. Chan Sung Jung's on a one-fight win streak. Calvin Kattar would be on a losing streak, if he loses to Giga. Josh Emmett's on a one-fight win streak, I believe. Even so, that one fight is over Dan Ige, and he was out forever before that. Arnold Allen doesn't deserve it. Giga's number 8, and if Giga beats Calvin Kattar, I give it to Giga. 2 wins, one over Edson Barboza, the other over Giga means a lot, I think. Guys, go vote in the poll before I end it. I'm going to leave it up for a little while. Who are you picking, Tuivasa or Lewis? I want Lewis to win, but I think Short will get it done. I think you mean Tai. I don't know why it says Short there. We'll get it done, and pressure will get to Lewis again. We'll see. Well, he said he didn't want to fight in Houston anymore, and the UFC booked him in Houston again. Please not somebody coming off a loss. He was hurt bad in that fight as well. Isn't like Yo or Corey Sandhagen's situation where they barely lost. What are you saying? You don't want to see Yair get a title shot off a loss? For me, the most compelling matchup is Giga. If Giga can beat Calvin Kattar, and especially if he can do it in impressive fashion, that's who I want to say. Lewis wins, in my opinion. Agreed. It looks like the majority of people agree with us. For some reason, my eye now itches really bad. Just sounds too good to me and annoying to others. And real reasons I call her that is because the fake goats, Rousey and Nunes, been exposed, and I knew she was the GOAT for a while. Okay, just wondering. Sure, I forgot he has the most knockouts in UFC. Does Volk Cejudo make sense? I know there's going to be more contenders, though anyway, TKZ doesn't deserve it. It's either Giga, Cejudo, or Zabit. I think Cejudo doesn't even come close to getting this fight. I think the UFC would reschedule Max Holloway before they gave it to Cejudo. Cejudo doesn't deserve that fight. Cejudo defended the belt once at bantamweight against a short-notice Dominic Cruz coming back 2 years of injuries. Nah. Zabit's been out forever. He's not getting it. Who wants to even see him come back, and get a fight Volkanovski after being off for so long? In my opinion. Okay, do you think the UFC will actually make Colby Masvidal fight this year? I hope so, man. That fight is something we've been looking for ages. I want it to happen. Yeah, Max was hurt bad as well. It was a crazy fight. Yair did take a lot of damage, but he had most of November, December, January, February, March. He would be fighting in March. So he'd have about 4 months off. I think he could make the turnaround. Hypothetically, if Cejudo beat Volk, does that? I'm not even entertaining. He would not beat Volk. He wouldn't even come close. I have no desire to even see that fight. I don't even care to see Henry Cejudo ever fight again, to be quite honest. And that sounds crazy, but there's no way he would beat Volk. And if he did, he would never defend the belt. And if he did, it would be by a controversial decision. True or false? Zabit will fight this year. Zabit Magomed Sharipov. I hope so, man. I hope so. I really want to see Zabit Yair. They booked that so many times, and that was such a fun fight. And I would love to see it happen. I don't think it's going to. It's like the Family Dollar Habib Ferguson. It's been booked like 3 times, I think, and canceled. So it's like the same thing there. But I hope Zabit fights this year. I want to see him in a 5-round fight. I'd like to see him against Yair Rodriguez. What about you guys? What about you guys? Do you think Zabit will fight this year? Okay, for my poll, Tuivasa versus Lewis, Tai Tuivasa versus Derrick Lewis, who will win? 86% say Lewis, 14% say Tai Tuivasa. So 86% of you guys agree with me. Yeah, I think Lewis gets it done. I think Lewis is super powerful, super strong, has great timing. He only loses to the elite of the elite. Uh, Derrick Lewis is not a guy who loses to, some journeyman or some, up and coming guy. He's just a guy that loses to the elite, most of the time. I know he got slept by Matt Mitrione not that long ago. I'm going to end this poll. But you look at, I'm trying to think. You look through the rankings. He has a win over Francis Ngannou. He has a win over Francis Ngannou. He lost to Cyril Gane. He never fought Stipe. He has a win over Curtis Blades, a win over Alexander Volkov, a win over Chris Daukaus. So he's beat a lot of the guys in this top 5, 6, really. He's only losing to the elite of the elite. And even so, he has a win over Francis Ngannou, which is just absolutely insane to me. Absolutely insane to me. Let's see. Guys, if you're watching this stream and you're not subscribed, go subscribe to the channel right this very second for me. If you guys have any questions, post them in the chat. We're going to go for as long as you guys have questions. It's a random Friday night stream. If you guys haven't yet, for some reason you guys are not doing it, do me a favor and go run up the likes on the stream. Click the like button right now down below. It takes 1 second and it helps push this out to more people. And then in turn, more people join the stream because more people see it. So do me a favor, go down below right this very second, please, and click the like button. I think Yair should get the fight. I would love to see Yair within the fight. I would love to see it, honestly. It would be amazing. It would be amazing. But I get kind of, he's coming off a loss. So it's kind of a weird situation. But if there's nobody else, I'd prefer that. I think the Yair fight is the most interesting of the options. If Giga were to lose or something like that, I'd rather have Yair. I think that's a fun matchup. I think it's a winnable fight for Yair. I think Volkanovski would have to go out there and wrestle him, to be honest. So there's a 125er, Rob DJ beat a Wash Marlin and beat Dom on 2-week notice before losing. And was losing till the knee. Yeah. I mean, I don't remember. I wouldn't say he was losing. I don't remember. But I agree with everything else you said. Marlon, I wouldn't say he was washed then, but it hasn't aged well for sure. Who should Paddy Pimblett fight? Supposedly he's fighting Cowboy Cerrone, but I have no clue. Who else he would fight. He needs a little bit of a step up, but nothing too crazy yet. I mean, he's fighting Luigi Vendramini, almost got slapped by him. He needs a slow progression. Obviously, he's still young, still learning. Will Burns versus Hamzat really be booked next since there's a ton of talk for a while now? I think so. I think that's the fight that gets booked, if I'm honest with you. I think that ends up happening. That's why I made a video about it, because I believe that that's the fight to really book. I hope so. We believe we got to wait so long for it. I know it sucks. Sean Jordan destroyed Derrick. Did he? I don't remember that fight. But yeah, I remember him getting slapped by Matt Mitrione face down. Lewis path to the belt. Beats Chris Daukaus or Kyle Daukaus. I think it's Chris Daukaus. Beats Tai Tuivasa. Beats Stipe. And he gets another title shot. Especially if Francis is still champion. Francis versus Derrick was supposed to be like Chandler versus Justin. Can you imagine? But they both knew if someone lands, it's over. Yeah, they were both worried about the other's power, for sure. If Tuivasa beats Lewis, does he get a title shot? No. I think he has to win one more fight. But he could. He could. I think it'll probably be... I think Jones will get a fight this summer, and then Tuivasa will probably fight at the end of the year, maybe get a title shot next year. When can someone... I don't feel like Googling it right now. Can someone put in the chat, when is Tuivasa versus Lewis supposed to happen? Because I think Tuivasa will fight one more time this year. After that, if he wins, and then next year he'll get a title shot. Who should Yoel Romero fight next? Good question. Good question. I'd like to see him fight Anthony Rumble Johnson. That's the fight that was originally scheduled, and that's the fight that I would love to see. to be quite honest. But I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Does not seem like it's going to happen. But hopefully, I think Rumble's still in the tournament, if my memory is correct. He got the win where he was hurt badly. It's crazy. They both, the Bellator really put together a great fight. They put Rumble Johnson and Yo Romero together. They said this is what the fans want, and of course it fell apart. That sucks. Yeah, if Tu does beat Lewis, wouldn't mind him getting the next shot. It wouldn't be that bad. I mean, think about it. Gane basically beat Lewis to get his title shot. Which champion do you think is the most likely to retain in 2022? Come on, bro. Say it with me one more time. I know what you want me to say. The GOAT. The real GOAT. All right, I expect a super chat donation for that one right there, James. The GOAT, the real GOAT, is most likely to retain her belt. February 12th. So that's not that far away. So, went the HS. Rumble went the HS. What's that even mean? If Burns versus Chimaev happens in Brooklyn, UFC 273, who's the main event on that card? Leon versus Usman? That wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be bad. I think that makes a lot of sense. I'm surprised the UFC isn't doing like a Khamzat Burn main event on like an ESPN card or something. But I guess they want to use Khamzat to drive pay-per-view sales as well. But I'm telling you right now, if they do a Khamzat versus Burns and a Kamaru Usman Leon, if Leon pulls out, I don't think Usman's taking that short notice fight, and everyone's going to criticize the hell out of him. Maybe Tuivasa can fight Blades. If he beats Lewis, then title shot. Yeah, I'd like that. But Dana said Khamzat is 4 fights away from title. He beats Gilbert. It's time to start talking about Usman. Like, how are they rushing this guy? He's young. Yeah, I think if he beats Burns, he's next in line for a shot. He's fighting. He will be fighting for the title this year if he beats Gilbert Burns for 100% certainty. Khamzat Chimaev, mark my words, Khamzat Chimaev will be fighting for the belt in 2022 if he beats Gilbert Burns. I'd be absolutely shocked if that did not happen. And he would have deserved it. A big win over a number 2 guy like Gilbert Burns, I have no problem with him getting it. So I think Dana's just kind of playing around a little bit. Maybe negotiating leverage. But there's no way he beats a guy like Gilbert Burns and doesn't get a shot. Emmett for a title shot, he just beat Ige in both their last fights. I don't think he really deserves it at this point. And it wouldn't sell anything, and I think there's far better options. But it looks like it's being reported. It looks like it's being reported as Volkanovski wants the Korean Zombie. Hospital. Oh yeah, that sucks, man. Yeah, Rumble pulled out of the tournament. Now I remember. So when he's ready, match him and Yola. I don't know how long it'll be. Maybe middle of the year. I want Khamzat to fight Bilal so Bilal can go to the Shadow Realm. Okay, me too. Imagine if Leon pulls out. I would feel genuinely bad for Leon if, like, let's say he got a real serious injury and had to pull out of a fight. I would feel so bad for him. To be honest, Sean Brady versus Bilal makes sense. I like that fight. I like Sean Brady versus a lot of guys, honestly. I didn't like how he looked in that 3rd round against Michael Chiesa, that's for sure. AJ McKee versus Alexander Volkanovski. Who do you have? Oh, man, I would love to see that fight. I would absolutely love to see that matchup. I'd probably go Volk. I just think he's so well-rounded, man. I just think he's so super well-rounded. AJ McKee's very fast, powerful, has good submissions. But I think Volk would play it very safe and kind of pick him apart. And I think he has the better stamina. I can't wait to watch Matt Brown knock out Brian Barberena. Brian Barberena is better than people give him credit for. I think he's better than people give him credit for. So I wouldn't be surprised if Brian Barberena somehow pulls it off. Derrick Lewis should fight in Rosenstrike. I'd like that fight too, but I love the Tai Tuivasa fight. Can Khamzat outstrike most guys in the division due to his scary ground game? I don't know if it's necessarily that. I think he could just have better striking. You look at the division. Kamaru Usman isn't scared about Khamzat's grappling. I don't believe. God, my nose is itching so bad, guys. I don't think Usman's scared of Hamzat's grappling. I don't think Gilbert's necessarily scared of his grappling. Leon Edwards, maybe a little bit nervous. Vicente Luque, maybe. Bilal, I don't think so. Jorge, definitely. Stephen Wonderboy would get wrecked. But I think there's top three guys, Kamaru, Colby, and Burns. I don't think they're necessarily scared of his grappling. I think they would be worried they wouldn't be able to take him down, and then he would outstrike them. Because all of them are not the greatest of strikers. I think Burns is the best striker out of the three of them, to be honest. Imagine Sterling pulls out and Yan faces Volk. That'd be crazy. Imagine if Sterling pulls out, does he get stripped? Let me do that as a poll. If Sterling pulls out of Yan fight, does he get stripped? All right, guys. Let me know what you think. Go vote in that poll real quick for me. Brady needs to work on his cardio for sure. He was really tired at the end of if that Chiesa fight would have been 5 rounds, which I wish it would have been because the main event was absolute dog shit, I would have preferred, that to have been 5 rounds. He would have lost for sure. He was tired as hell at the end of the third. What's up? Who should Nick Diaz fight next? I would love to see him fight Matt Brown. I don't want to see Nick fight ever again. What's up, Vlad? Hope you're doing well, my friend. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you, man. Keep up the good work, and thank you for stopping by the stream. I seen that, what was it? I seen that Showtime kick, man. That looked deadly. Deadly, my friend. What's up, Muffins? 100%. Fighters are scary. If Emmett doesn't get the next title shot over Ige, what's the next matchup for Emmett? If Emmett doesn't get the next title shot over Ige, Ige's not getting the next title shot, so I don't know what you meant by that. But let's just say if Emmett doesn't get the next title shot, what's next for him? I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Chan Sung Jung, to be honest. Or Zabit in his return. Or Arnold Allen would also be a good matchup. I think if Giga defeats Calvin Kattar, I think he's ready for a shot. If I'm making the fights right now, I do Volkanovski versus Giga with a win over Kattar. Volkanovski against Giga with a win over Kattar. I'll do Brian Ortega versus Calvin Kattar because they both be coming off losses. And I do Chan Sung Jung versus Arnold Allen. And I do Yair versus Zabit. Or Chan Sung Jung versus Holloway if he's ready to come back by the time Chan Sung Jung's ready to come back. If Emmett, how successful do you think Volk would be at 55? I wish TKZ was fighting Giga as well, my friend. How successful do you think Volk would be at 55? He should do well. He should do well since he was a 215-pound rugby player. I don't know if he does that well, to be honest. You look at the jump up. I think he loses to Oliveira. I think he loses to Dustin. I think he loses to Beneil. I think he loses to Islam. I think he might be able to beat Chandler. I think he might be able to beat Dos Anjos. I think he beats Tony Ferguson. I think he beats Dan Hooker. I think he probably beats Connor. I think he loses to Gregor Gillespie. I think he loses to Rafael Fiziev. I think he could beat Mateus Gamrot. And that's the top 12 right there. So I think he could have success. But also, I don't like his chances again in a lot of those fights. Fiziev versus McGregor. I definitely got Fiziev. McGregor, I just don't believe in McGregor. I just don't believe in him. So it looks like most people believe Aljamain Sterling should get stripped if he does pull out of the fight. That's a lot of pressure on him. Imagine he really does get an injury. Could you imagine what people would say about him? He's definitely ducking him. Even if he broke his leg in half. Oh my God. Let me X out of this. Guys. Oh, and Rafael Fiziev versus Rafael dos Anjos is going to happen in February. I absolutely love that fight. The battle of the Rafaels. Fiziev, he's a guy at the beginning of the year. When I started this channel last April, I was really talking about that. I was very, very high on him, and to see now him with a fight against a former lightweight champion in Rafael dos Anjos, and that brutal spinning back heel kick KO, standing KO of Brad Riddell, in which I predicted him to win. Was very confident in him. He's making his way up the division. He beats Dos Anjos. He's one fight away from a title shot, which is crazy. Rafael dos Anjos is 2 fights right now away from a title shot, in my opinion. You know, the Dos Anjos fight, and then he's next up, I believe. And I think, as long as he continues to work on his cardio, I think he can be really a dangerous guy at lightweight and potential future champion, which I think I told it to Yusuf before. He said, at the time, Fiziev wasn't even in the rankings. He said, who's a guy outside the rankings that you might feel has championship potential? Because I told him I felt that way about Piotr Jan. I thought that he was championship potential, and I told him Rafael Fiziev. So I'm wondering if the next 2 years Rafael Fiziev could become champion. That'd be crazy. I wish I could go back and find that clip now. Walid versus Khabib and BJJ. Who do you think is going to win? I have no idea on that one. I'm not familiar with Walid to whoever. 85% says Sterling should be stripped if he pulls out of the fight. McGregor beat up a bus once, yeah. And then he used it for promotion. I'm like, if I have to see that clip of him throwing a dolly at a bus one more time. Conor is no longer in the top 15. I don't know where you read that at. I don't know where you read that. MMA Fighting is talking about their own rankings. He is still in the UFC official rankings. I have it up on my screen right now. He is ranked number 9, and I'd be shocked if the UFC took him out of those rankings. So, I know MMA Fighting is reporting that, but they're talking about their own rankings. If Fiziev beats RDA, he's going to get a top 5 matchup. I agree. And I think he would deserve it. I think Rafael dos Anjos is a lot better than people give him credit for. For some reason, they think he's just washed up because he lost the elite of the elite at welterweight. He's still elite, a legitimate elite lightweight, and I think he can beat a lot of guys at lightweight. I kind of want to see Chandler versus Dos Anjos, but Fiziev is always exciting to watch. Agreed. And that's a great fight. It's a great test for Rafael Fiziev. And the fact that both of their names are Rafael, I love it. For some reason, what's the most competitive titled fight in any division of UFC in your opinion? Anyone against any champion in the same division. I mean, anyone against any champion in the same division. Okay, most competitive title fight. I'm assuming you mean like realistically coming up. So Brandon Moreno versus Davison Figueroa. Aljamain Sterling versus Peter Yan. Alexander Volkanovski versus whoever. I would have said Alexander Volkanovski versus Max Holloway, but that's no longer happening. Oliveira versus Gaichi, maybe. Usman versus Leon, Israel versus Whitaker, Glover versus Yuri, The women's title fights. If I had to say toughest fight for me to pick right now, it's Charles Oliveira versus Justin Gaichi. I think a lot of people think because Gaichi got mauled by Khabib, he's going to get mauled by Oliveira. Oliveira does not have the same level of takedowns as Khabib Nurmagomedov. So if Justin Gaichi can keep that fight standing, I think he has some of the nastiest power within the lightweight division. Also, he mixes it all together very well, and he fights very smart now. So I believe, I think Oliveira versus Gaichi is a really competitive fight. Let's say they make Oliveira versus McGregor. How much chance does McGregor have? What's the better matchup? What's the better matchup for Gaichi? What do you mean, what's the better matchup for Gaichi? I'll answer your. I think McGregor has a legit shot just because he has nasty power as well. I'll say he has a 15% chance of winning the fight. What's the better matchup for Gaichi? I don't know what you're asking there. What's an easier fight for him if McGregor fights for the title? Or are you asking what's next for Gaichi if McGregor were to get the title shot? If McGregor were to get the title shot, I'd like to see Gaichi versus Islam. Or winner of Islam Beneil. Can't believe Chael said Conor's a nightmare matchup for Oliveira. What a joke. Chael is just spewing nonsense constantly. The guy is just a complete idiot. Don't trust any. Chael Sonnen, I swear that guy will make a 5-minute video, talk about absolutely nothing. He will have an intro, an outro, and a minute and a half ad in there. I think the guy might be in a lot of debt or something, you know, bought a house he can't afford or something like that, because the guy is just desperate for ad revenue like crazy. 5-minute videos, intro, outro, 1.5 minute ad that he personally puts in there. Disturbing, and he says nonsense. He spews a lot of nonsense. I used to really like Chael Sonnen's channel when he first started. It's just become nothing at this point. And what an absolute joke. The dude acts like he's the promoter of Conor. You know, I remember when he was saying Oliveira doesn't deserve a title shot. They should make Conor versus Dustin 2 for the lightweight title. You know, they're not going to give it to Oliveira, and they shouldn't, and all this nonsense. I think I actually made a video on the channel. It's Costa Figueroa's manager, who's a BJJ practitioner. Back in the day, choked out Royce Gracie when he was UFC champ. Oh, I see. I'll pick Khabib in that matchup just for fun. And Ngannou versus Gane is very competitive. Yeah, but I have a feeling it could be not very competitive if Ngannou catches him on the chin. Yep. So, but I agree. I think it's one of the best heavyweight title fights we've seen in a long time, skill wise. You know, match them both up. It's crazy. We're only a couple weeks away. Not coming up. I'm saying make the most intriguing title fight in your opinion. Okay, what's the most intriguing title fight right now? Competitive title fight. Of any of them. For me, the most intriguing competitive title fight that you can make right now is Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makashav. I love the skill sets and how they match up. Absolutely love it. Charles Oliveira, Islam Makashav. Or you could go Kamaru Usman, Hamzat Chimaev. I would love to see that, and I think that'd be super competitive as well. Hamzat just looks so good grappling-wise, and if he can keep the fight standing with Usman, he could sleep him, maybe. The Oliveira clinch is the real hero. His clinch is nasty, and then he uses the clinch to transition into, you know, a back mount like he did against Dustin Poirier. I don't think Dustin Poirier had any idea that Oliveira was about to climb on his back and choke him out. They were just in, you know, like clinch position, and he just transitioned to it with ease. He made it look easy. I mean, I went back and rewatched it a couple times. Oliveira just floated to the back. Let's see. What's up, T-Block? Rip Gaichi. Okay. Whitaker versus Usman. Should Whitaker beat Israel? Who would win? I think the Whitaker-Israel fight is 50-50. Whitaker versus Usman, I think Whitaker wins, but it also depends which weight class. I think McGregor would have as much of a chance as Charles would on slipping on a banana. No, seriously, catching him early with the left is his only chance. Agreed 100%. Hopefully if that fight happens, Charles don't slip on a banana peel. Yes, French fries, we can do better than that. Guys, go like the stream right this second. Help the channel out. Help the channel grow. I want to get to 2,000 subscribers in this next week or so. The easier fight. Yeah, you literally put your money on whoever he doesn't pick. Yeah. Chael talk more about ads than his stupid videos. I mean, his channel's terrible. I think he might be in debt or something. I don't know. Discovered your channel after your Hamzat vid. Good shit, bro. Subbed right away. Which Hamzat vid did you discover? Are you talking about the one I just did last night? The one I think I just put it out yesterday about Gilbert Burns, or are you talking about a previous one? Let me know. I'm curious. But either way, thank you for coming to the live stream, my friend. I appreciate you very much. Bro, I swear you said the exact 2 fights I had in my mind. Okay. I'm happy we're on this. Great minds think alike. Star like the show star. I don't know what that means, but thank you. Guys, keep filling the chats with questions. We'll go as long as we have questions within the chat. And tomorrow's our last Saturday with no UFC. And I absolutely love it. We're finally getting back to some fights. Giga Chikadze versus Calvin Kattar next Saturday. Not tomorrow, but next Saturday. Who wins, Burns or Hamzat? I'm going Hamzat, but I might change my mind. Burns has great jiu-jitsu, great stamina. He's just a little bit small compared to Hamzat. I think he's a little bit chinny. I worry about him a little bit against I think Hamzat keeps it on the feet and outboxes him. His striking looks very good, but we haven't seen a whole lot of it just yet. But I lean Hamzat right now. Did you see Hamzat's size next to Blachowicz? Dude is huge. You think the first triple champ ever is possible for that dude? It's way too early to say that, my friend. I don't know, but he is a very big guy. what he did to Jack Hermanson was super impressive. Jack Hermanson's a big middleweight, and the way he ragdolled him in that wrestling match showed the level of grappling that he has. And Jack Hermanson's considered one of the top grapplers at middleweight. And the way Hamzat just went in there and absolutely ragdolled the guy, super, super impressive. Yes, the last Hamzat vid had it in my recommendations after watching a bunch of Jesse on Fire vids. Okay, man, appreciate you. I hope you enjoy the channel, man. I try to do a lot of live streams, and I try to be super consistent with my videos, constantly pumping out important, relevant videos, and always giving you honest, unbiased opinions. So I know there's a lot of MMA channels out there that are just super biased, and also they're too scared to say certain things, and it's so infuriating. They're so scared to say one bad thing about a fan favorite fighter because they're scared of fan backlash. You will not find that on this channel ever, ever. Guys, I'm trying to I've been trying to look at all these different MMA channels and just see what people are talking about on them for the most part. What are your guys' favorite MMA channels? I know I asked you this quite a bit. What are your guys' favorite MMA channels that you watch right now? I'm curious. Who do you guys like? I'd like to know. Like the show. Thank you, Advic Fett. Who is the worst matchup for Alexander the Great to sub in for Max? I think Giga Chikadze is the worst matchup. I think he is. I think highest probability to lose is Giga Chikadze. What fights can you see the UFC announcing soon? I hope that they announce Charles Oliveira versus Justin Gaichi soon. I want to see him announce Glover Teixeira versus Yuri Prohaska soon. I think maybe we might see a Jose Aldo TJ Dillashaw fight announced soon. I think we'll also see a flyweight. I think we'll see like a Pantoja versus Askar Askarov, or maybe an Alex Perez versus an Askar Askarov announced soon, like for the next couple months or so. There's a lot of fights. The Weasel. A lot of people always say the Weasel. The Weasel's got a big following. I don't know how long he's been around. Jesse on Fire. He's more of like the kind of like he talks about a lot of MMA gossip and stories like that. Vic says this channel, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. I'm just always curious just to kind of get a feel for what people like. I always like to try to research it. I'm curious, do you guys know any more like really small channels like similar to mine? That's what I'm curious. What channels that are like under 10,000 subs do you guys like? How about that one? Do you guys have any MMA channels under 10,000 subs? I'm under 2,000 subs that you guys like to watch. MMA Burt. Never heard of him. Have to look him up. No, maybe I might have heard of him. I think I might have. Maybe. Isn't Askarov fighting Kai Kara France? Did they announce that already? Is that? I know they announced it. Let's see. Oh, yes, they did announce that the other day. Yup, last week, actually. For March 26th. It's tough to remember all that, French fries. Tough to remember that. So, if he's fighting Askar Askarov, Kai Kara France versus Askar Askarov, I think we'll see Alex Perez versus Alexandra Pantoja. And out of those four, we'll get the next contender. In my opinion. Mexican martial arts, the Weasel, Jesse on Part, or pass from classic MMA news channels. Appreciate you filling me in, man. MMA Joey's #1. That's what I like to hear. Thank you, man. Thank you, CG. MMA Burt is annoying, and I always get his stuff in my recommendations. Oh, man, that's funny. MMA Expert Picks. I don't think I've heard of MMA Expert Picks. I'm going to have to check out some of these channels, man. I don't watch a lot of... To be honest, I'm doing so many videos and so much content for my channel that I can't even watch any more MMA opinions. I watch some of some. I watch a little bit of Morning Combat here and there. I watch a lot of James Lynch, just a lot of his Q&As. I prefer like his Q&A type stuff. and you know, he reminds me of similar to my channel. Uh, Bloodstained Lane, me, T Block. You got a channel? I think they rebooked Prez Shell. Prez Shell. Schnell. Alex Perez versus Schnell, number 9. Oh, did they rebook that? I thought they didn't for some reason. Look at you filling me all in. I like the Lerone channel. What's it called? Lerone channel? It's not a talking show. It's just uploaded videos of UFC full fights. It's 2 competitors following by best moment, shows behind the screens and all that. Yeah, they're probably going to get taken down by the UFC then. But maybe not. Maybe they won't. I hope they don't. For example, okay. Can anyone explain to me the hype behind Paddy Pimblett? He's got a funky haircut. He's got a cool accent, and that's about it. And he says funny shit. That's the hype. He hasn't proved anything yet, but people believe in him. Your channel is second. His channel is second. Yours is first. Do you watch Mipe Sports? Never heard of it. See, that's what I'm curious. I'm going to have to search these up. I'm going to have to, let me go put this in my tab real quick. I've never heard of it. Let's go take a look. 171K subscribers? That's insane, and I've never even heard of it. I've never even heard of this channel. The thumbnails are kind of goofy. Oh, there are a lot of just clips, huh? See, I meant like people who kind of give their opinions and kind of cover the sport. These channels that just post clips, I mean, really, is that even a channel? They're just taking all their content and posting it for fun. What is this about? I posted about the Max Holloway pulling out. Somebody commented on it. Oh, for fuck's sakes. I'm dying. That's funny. That is funny. But no, I've never heard of that, my friend. They need to remove Chris Weidman. Weidman. I don't know why I said that. From the top 15. Agreed. My Sports Legendary D Meme MMA channel. Okay. Bro, Wrestling Days has 200K. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I'm dying. French fries, go check your messages real quick. I had to send you that. That's crazy though. Following them at 5K, and then they have 200K. Well, I hope that's the same for my channel. You found me around 1K, and I hope maybe next year I have 200K. Wouldn't that be wild? You told me about Wrestling Days before too. Let me go look them up. No, how did I end up here? They talk about wrestling and... Oh, they just talk about wrestling. Okay. I see what you mean. That's crazy. 250 subs. Yeah, hopefully you can say that about me in the future. Yeah, I found MMA Joey when he had 1K subscribers. Now he's got 150K. You have to look at MMA Burt. MMA Burt is not it, but to each their own, I guess. What kind of videos do you want to make in the future? Basically just reacting to MMA news, giving my opinion on topics that aren't getting enough coverage, prediction videos, and lots of live streams. I mean, these live streams, it's not like I do these live streams and grow a lot of subscribers. It's more of the people who already watch my channel who comes to these live streams. But let me sit up a little bit. But I love doing these live streams. They're some of my favorite thing on the channel. Just because, you guys get to ask me a million different questions and I can give you guys my opinion in real time. So they're my favorite videos to make. I like what Kion Kimura does on his channel. How good were they really series? I think I've heard of that before. I think I've seen those videos before. Ricky Tirico will defeat O'Malley this year. That is a bold prediction. I don't know if they'll even match him up. Okay, he streams all the cards, I see. What's up, bud? I got RTA winning over Old Boy. All right, I'm gonna queue up Torin Brown right now. Tony Ferguson question coming in. I can already feel it coming. Gregor Gillespie posted that message. Um, I got Fiziev winning probably against RDA, but I might change my mind. I think RDA is super legit too. I got to go, but have fun. Have a good one, French fries. Enjoy the rest of your night, my friend. We're gonna go for as long as we have questions, I'll continue to go. It's 11 o'clock. I'm actually kind of tired, but as long as we have questions in the chat, we will stay live. There's a lot of news going on right now, so I'm thinking in the future, eventually these random live streams are going to be saved for the members only. If you guys want to support the channel, by the way, and become a member of the channel, we got custom emojis, loyalty badges. I post a bunch of behind the scenes stuff. And we have a members only Discord chat where once you join for one day, or 1 month, you'll always be a part of the Discord chat. And if the link is in the description, if you guys want to join, it's just a way to support the channel. You guys can message me directly on Discord, request videos. And also I post a lot of what I'm working on. I'm working on this video for tomorrow. I'll post sneak peeks of videos when I say particularly important or funny things. So it's just a way to support the channel. The link is in the description if you want to become a member, or if you're on a laptop or browser, you can just click join down below next to the subscribe button. So let's see. Is Stipe fighting this year? Who should he fight? I don't know, man. I want to see him fight this year. I wanted to see him against Derrick Lewis. Maybe give him a Curtis Blades fight. That's not the biggest fight, but I wouldn't mind seeing that. I'm not going to talk about Tony Ferguson today, Joey. Who would you pick, Gillespie versus Gamrot? I'll go Gamrot in that one. You think Tony is the boat? I don't know what that means. Goat, you mean? And no, if so. PPV price I heard will grow from 69 to 75. I don't care because I only watch it in recording from someone drops in YouTube. I will watch your stream 21 of January and highlights and videos after. Okay. Yeah, it sucks, man. They're constantly raising the prices. It's really actually quite annoying. But what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do, guys? There's nothing we can do. The UFC, it's just constantly looking to add revenue to their companies, and so now another $5 increase. It costs so much to be a UFC fan. Who are the top 5 fighters that are not in the UFC? That's a tough question. Off the top of my head, I'll go AJ McKee, Kayla Harrison. I'm trying to think. So there's 2 right off the top of my head. Let me think. Maybe Ryan Bader? I don't know. I'm trying to think, guys. And for some reason I can't. So I'll go Kayla Harrison, AJ McKee. This is in no particular order. Vadim Nemkov. Maybe Demetrius Johnson over in Ryzen. Who else? And probably Gegard Mousasi, honestly. Either Gegard Mousasi, or maybe you could throw in an MVP, maybe. But he hasn't fought a lot. He probably shouldn't have won that decision. So there you go. There's my best top 5 I could give you. Cejudo stepping in? Absolutely not. Bobby Green has a fight announced for 271 against Nasrat Haqparast. Should be a good fight. I'm going with Green for the win. I'll go with Green for sure. Will Brooks used to be one of the best guys outside the UFC, but I don't know about anymore. Cyborg should be on the list. I guess so. Yeah, you're probably right. O'Malley said he has 0 interest in fighting Garbrandt, basically calling him washed. Do you agree with Sugar? Yeah. I'm surprised that he doesn't want that fight, though. He's been fighting nothing but washed. Bobby Green versus Max Holloway at 55. Who wins? Hot take, Bobby Green. How can Patricio beat AJ McKee? I thought he was going to beat AJ McKee, to be quite honest. And AJ McKee went out there and just destroyed him. Come in there, be super careful, pick apart the legs, don't get taken down, don't get caught with a big shot. Win in the later rounds after AJ McKee gets a little bit tired. Make him work, put the pace on him. Is there a fighter you hated seeing become champion? Mine is Tito Ortiz. Will Brooks might beat Michael Chandler. He beat him in Bellator twice, actually. I watched them both live. Yep, there you did. You did say it. They said Extra 5 is going to make something like 600 million extra according to projected numbers based off that year. Okay. A fighter that I hated seeing become champion, Chris Weidman. Oh my God. When he knocked out Anderson, I hated it. I'm not a fan of Tito Ortiz either. It is crazy how Will Brooks fought Chandler and Oliveira. And then he fell off a cliff. I don't even know where he ended up. Where did that guy end up at? I don't know what organization he fights in anymore. I know he said he wanted to make his way back, but I don't know if he ever will. He made Chandler call a timeout mid-fight because he clipped him so hard. He got confused. But it is weird. It is weird as that happens sometimes. You have a guy that's not even in the UFC, and he has wins over really quality guys like Chandler. Let's see. Guys, don't forget to like the stream. Do me that favor and run up the likes on the stream. I'm going to find something real quick. Okay, can exit out of that. Okay. Now he just doesn't fight anymore. I think he does still fight. It's some weird organization though. Now he doesn't. Okay, I know his uncle said he's just focused on being a dad. No, he still fights. He was even tweeting recently about coming back to the UFC. When Anderson broke his leg, when he got knocked out, and then when he broke his leg was even more disturbing. Weidman checked his kick. Yep, was disgusting. I was so excited for that rematch. And then for him to end with a broken leg, it was devastating. It left a terrible taste in your mouth after the event. Just ruined the whole night. And that was a nice card, too. I think Rousey fought Tate on that card as well. I was, to see Anderson get KO'd by Weidman was terrible, but to see him break his leg like that and see Weidman like prance around the cage with the American flag draped over his back like he had knocked him out again was terrible. You think Fiziev will finish RDA? I will say no. I think Fiziev wins a decision against RDA, but maybe. I don't know, man. Fiziev has looked so good. He has looked phenomenal. I think Fiziev has great striking. I think he's an elite level fighter. And I think he has all the tools to beat RDA. But I think RDA is going to try to lean on him, clinch him up, press him against the fence, wear him out, and maybe win a decision himself. Or maybe take him down and look for submissions. But we'll see. It's a great matchup. It's a great test for Rafael Fiziev. Dos Anjos, people act like the guy's washed up, but he's still a quality guy. He lost to the elite of the elite at welterweight, and people act like this guy's washed up, even though he's a former champion. But I'm very high on Fiziev. I thought he was going to beat Brad Riddell, and he went out there and did it in an impressive fashion with that spinning heel kick KO. And I'm interested to see how he does in a fight against Rafael dos Anjos, because Rafael dos Anjos is a world-class fighter, and Fiziev, this is his toughest test to date. But right now, off the top of my head, I don't think Fiziev finishes him. It was brutal. Yeah, you're right. It didn't talk to Unc over summer. Looks like he strung a couple wins together. I don't know who he's fought or what organization he fights with, but I know he's been talking about coming back. But it's been a bit. True or false, UFC will remove women's bantamweight in the next 5 years? I'll say false. Featherweight, true. Yeah, if you guys have any true or false questions, throw true or false questions in the chat right this very second. I love answering true or false questions. So, Sean said there's no point. If he knocks out Cody, Cody's like 1-6 in his last 7. If he loses to Cody, then he loses to someone on a slide. I agree. I agree 100%. If I had to choose one fight to watch over and over again until the end of time, what would it be? If you had one fight. I don't know, man. I love that Chandler Oliveira fight, but that was a short fight to watch over and over again. Maybe Corey Sandhagen, Piotr Jan for the interim bantamweight title. Maybe something like that I think would be great. But I mean, I like watching fresh matchups and fresh fights. I like rewatching it, especially to kind of study it a little bit. But I don't think I'd like watching one fight over and over and over again till the end of time. There's no way. That would get boring. I mean, eventually it would just be boring as hell. So, what about you? Do you have an answer to that question? Because I'd like to know. I don't think there's any fight that would not get old at some point in time. So, um, Kara France chins Askarov late round one after losing most of the round, then goes to get a split decision over Moreno for the belt. Thoughts? I think Askarov probably grinds him out to a decision, wins, takes him down, holds him down. Most boring title fight this year prediction. I don't think there's really any bad ones. Most boring? I can't pick out a boring one. There's none that are going to be boring, my friend. Maybe Usman versus Leon. I don't know. I mean, I think they're all going to be super exciting. I think we are stacked with amazing fights in 2022. I think it's a golden age of MMA. We have so many great matchups coming up. Really, we really, really do. Do you want Cejudo to step in for Max? Absolutely not. I don't know if he's tested now, though. No, he's not. By the way, Ankalaev is a monster. I feel like he's going to dominate light heavyweight for a long time. I feel like he doesn't get any love at all. Yeah, I mean, Ankalaev has looked amazing. He's got a big fight coming up with Thiago Santos. I think he could be the future of the division. Him, Alexander Rakic, and Yuri Prohaska, I think could potentially be the future of the light heavyweight division. And I'm very excited to see what they do in 2022. Aspen Ladd, stop it. Imagine watching Aspen Ladd versus Norma Dumont over and over and over till the end of time. My time wouldn't last very long because I'd end it. I mean, that was the worst fight I've ever seen in my life. Jesus. Almost as bad as Misha Tate, Ketlin Vieira. Terrible, awful fight. And people were praising Misha Tate. It was disgusting. Disgusting. Terrible fight. Let me get rid of this. I have too many tabs open because I've been opening up different YouTube channels and fighters. All right, guys. Well, we went over an hour tonight. It seems like we're running low on questions now. I'm kind of tired. Do you have any thoughts on Mike? No, I do not have any thoughts on him. I'm not even sure who that is, my friend. I used to watch Kerr Parisian's fights on repeat. Yeah, but not till the end of time. Maybe for a week. I'm trying to think. Is this some kind of... Let's see. Mike Matea, a.k.a. Blood Diamond. He's making his UFC debut next month. Yeah, I haven't seen him. He's 3-0 pro MMA. Well, that's why. So that's why I don't have any thoughts on him, my friend. Do you have any idea for UFC to improve tough? They got to get better coaches. I think Jorge Masvidal versus Colby Covington should be the next coaches. So, well, all right, guys, it's getting late. I'm tired. Thank you guys all for joining the stream. I'll probably have a video out tomorrow. I have a couple different ideas. If you haven't already, do me a favor and like the stream. I appreciate it very much. Enjoy the rest of your night, and I will talk to you guys very, very soon.